Hi, it's Greg, and I'm here with your Daily 5. So, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about some background here. I particularly like it when entire industry groups start to make a move. One of the things that happened was I wrote an article earlier today over on the Canadian Technician blog at StockCharts.com. It's also on the Greg Schnell website if you're interested. But the point I wanted to make was I was one of the stocks I had found earlier today to look at and view was in the defense sector, and it was the L3Harris Technologies company. That was interesting. But then when I ran some different scans after Thursday's close for to do this article, the one thing that I noticed was that there were more defense stocks showing up, so the backdrop is I now have three of them all setting up, like right here, right now. And then I went and looked at General Dynamics, and it had already started to make a move. It's kind of been on the move a little bit before. But these charts are just starting to set up. So to me, that's a nice place to get on board. I like it when you get industry support that actually kind of gives you a big thrust up. Now, these industries haven't defense hasn't done much for years, and I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's perking up now. Maybe it's because we're floating aircraft carriers through the Taiwan Strait or something. But anyway, this is starting to get going, and then we also have the negotiations with Iran. Perhaps there's something there. Anyway, not to dwell on why it's there, we're just starting to see all of these stocks break out. So let's talk about them individually. First of all, here's Northrup Grumman, and the scooter ranking has been out of favor for almost 6 months and is all of a sudden starting to improve. I like scooter rankings in two places, either terrible and starting to improve or average and starting to outperform. So back here it was sitting at the bottom, and then all of a sudden it moved up to outperform, and it stayed up there for 6 months or whatever, and it was a pretty nice ride. So that's one thing I like. The second thing is the relative strength compared to the S&P 500 has been downtrending for pretty much exactly a year, and it's just starting to break out now. So I like that, kind of a year-long downtrend, and all of a sudden the stock rotates into favor and then runs up and kind of catches people off guard. So I like that. Full stochastic running up above 80%, that's good, means it's in the top of its price movement in over the last 14 weeks, or call it 1/4 of stock market action. So here we go, breaking this big downtrend and also starting to cycle up. Wouldn't take much to make new 52-week highs, and that would attract more institutional investors. And then we have a big downtrend in momentum here that's been going on for almost 2 years, and I like the fact that that's breaking and starting to outperform. So that stock looks really good. Now the interesting part is if you just closed your eyes and blinked and I changed the chart, we'd find almost the same sort of setups on Lockheed Martin. So what we see here is the scooter ranking's been basing for about 6 months, starting to turn up and fire up. Relative strength in the downtrend is starting to break out to the upside. That looks pretty positive. Full stochastic is starting to move up above 80, so kind of in the top little price area over the last 14 weeks or 1/4 of a year. And you can see the downtrend has been broken, and now we're kind of moving through this area which has historically been support and resistance, and the stock has kind of wobbled here, so we'll see if it's got enough strength to break through. I like it here because the momentum trend that's also been downtrending for a year is starting to break out to the upside. So you can see these two charts are mimicking each other or whatever. We have this same sort of situation back here in the back where it had been downtrending in relative performance for a year, and then it started to outperform all through 2019 into 2020. And then, well, 2020 was rocking on every other front. Defense was not on the list of things to worry about. All the governments were focused on pandemics, I guess, and so they didn't have time to focus on defense technologies. But everything on this chart is all set up again. You see the same thing on the PPO indicators. Stock was moving sideways and then started to break out to new 52-week highs and went on a nice run for almost 9 months. So really looking pretty good on that front. Here's the L3Harris Technologies. This one's a little bit different, and what you see here is the PPO actually broke its downtrend a little while ago, and then it rallied up and it went flat around the zero line, and it's just starting to bounce off that. It bounced off starting in early March, but it's just breaking out to new 6-month highs now and trying to get through to new 52-week highs. So again on the radar, and as soon as you start having stocks breaking out to new 52-week highs, that usually attracts institutional investors wondering what's going on the stock. You can see the scooter ranking was out of favor for a little more than 6 months, going on 9, has just started to move out of this lower bowl area. So again, I like the whole industry all of a sudden starting to shape up. That particularly interests me. Relative strength is downtrending here and was downtrending and is starting to break out. It's at new 4-month highs, so that's pretty good. And then the full stochastic is up nice and high, and again, it can stay up here for months, so that's really good. I think the big part here is that the stock has been stuck just under this layer and looks like it now wants to break out. So that looks great. If you go look at general dynamics, and I didn't include it here because it's already broken out, so it's a little too far for me to kind of include as a trade idea right here, right now. But you'll see a pretty good looking chart in defense as well. So here's Ball Corporation, and hey, who can't have fun with a bouncing ball? So this one has been bouncing up, down, and it's just starting to break its downtrend that's been going on for over 6 months. I think that's particularly attractive. PPO is bouncing right at 0, which is an area I like to look at for support. When you start to see a stock kind of take a breather, it comes back down, and the PPO, we call it, resets at the 0 line and starts to make a move. Well, this is just starting to break out from a downtrend. The full stochastic is turning up from oversold around 20 and just starting to break out. Relative strength downtrend for the last 6 months is also starting to perk up to the upside. That looks pretty attractive to me. And the scooter ranking has not yet started to turn, but you can see on this stock it kind of out of favor, goes all the way into favor, and goes on a run. Out of favor, goes all the way into favor, goes out of favor, and hopefully all the way into favor again for another big run. So looking forward to that stock trying to pick it up and move to the upside. Last one, not related to defense, unless you're a drone pilot or something. Here's Domino's Pizza Group, and what I was thinking on Domino's, the chart obviously had a wonderful run from September 2019 into October 2020, so roughly a 1-year run. And during that run, it was a double, 217 to 430. So a really nice move up here. Looking at the stock, it's pulled back since the September outbreak. So what happened in September was a lot of stocks hit highs like Apple, and a bunch of the big rally names from early 2020 kind of paused in September and have been taking time off. And recently we've just seen Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Apple all start to turn higher and break out, moving up. And Apple was a good example of a stock that topped in September and started to pause for 6 months and is now starting to take off. So I like the way this is looking, where some stocks have kind of run up, pulled back, and now they're all starting to make another wave higher, is the way it's setting up for me. So this downtrend has been going on for 6 months. Looks like it's starting to break out. The full stochastic moving above 50, very nice. So what we're looking for on the full stochastic, either it's breaking out of the bottom, it's moving above 50 is also a bullish sign, moving above 80 is bullish. What we don't want is we don't want to be picking up stocks that are rolling over on their full stochastic, so especially on a weekly chart. PPO is breaking a downtrend here and starting to turn to the upside. That looks particularly good, and it hasn't broken out in relative strength yet, but if the stock can get any momentum, move back above its 40-week moving average, that'll probably help it out. So thanks again for listening. If you're interested in anything I have over at gregschnell.com, head over there and snoop around. If you go to gregschnell.com/explore, there's a discount code there for $497 down from $860. So hopefully, if that's of interest to you, you can check that out. Thanks for taking the time to join me. And as always, thanks for watching. Trade well. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.